Okay, so the show me, tell me questions as they're known. Just going to go through them in the order to which the DSA print them out, just because that's the way we're going to put them underneath this video, and it would be easy if you follow that way. So we'll be jumping from the bonnet to the car, etc. Basically how they do it is there's 19 questions put into 14 categories, I think there is, and you'll be asked one of those categories, which includes 2 questions. We'll put this list underneath this video so you'll see all the questions and the categories that they go in. Don't worry about the categories too much. Don't try and remember which one's going to follow the first one, because that's not important. Okay, they come into sort of 3 categories really, which is basically show me, tell me, but the tell me is broken down to 2 parts. You've got tell me with questions you'll be asked in the car, just outside the car. Questions you'll be asked to point things under the bonnet, and you'll show pictures come up on these videos to show you where they are in this car. And this is a Mercedes A-Class. In different cars they may be different, but the questions are exactly the same. The answers are the same, except for you'll be pointing in a different place if it's under the bonnet. And then there's the show me, which is basically you would actually be doing something. So you'd be fiddling with the handbrake or the steering wheel, and you'll see little videos on those as well. Okay, so we'll go through these in the order to which they're just on this list, because you can follow this list then. Okay, so show me how you would check the direction indicators are working is the question. The answer is apply the indicators or hazard warning switch and check function of all indicators. May need to switch ignition on, but don't turn the engine on. Okay, so just one click, lights come on the dashboard, should work. I think the easiest way to do this is put the hazard warning lights on. There's normally a button in the middle of the dashboard which is a warning triangle sign, and you press that and you can hear it flashing now, and that you can check all 4 indicators. The examiners expect you to get out of the vehicle and check all 4 indicators, but actually you can check them without getting outside the vehicle, because if they tick in a rhythm like that, then you know they're okay. If they go tick, 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 then you know there's a bulb gone. But they want you to get outside the vehicle and actually check it. Okay, you can do each individual indicator, but it means you go in and out of the vehicle. So hazard warning lights are best. Check rear instructor, because I know Corsas, for example, older Corsas have a problem with trying to get the hazard warning light back off again. So just check it's okay to do that. Tell me how you would check all the brakes are working before starting a journey. So this is a tell me, it's not a show me, so just literally going to tell them, and the answer is brakes should not feel spongy or slack. Brakes should be tested as you set off. Vehicles should not pull to one side. So in other words, if your brakes weren't being effective, when you braked you wouldn't get the same response you normally get, and it would just feel not quite right. Spongy is the effect. You'll be pressing down but not much would be going on. A bit like a bicycle when the brakes aren't very good, you know, you press the brakes and you just keep going, don't you? And eventually they snap sometimes and you suddenly go over the handlebars. So that's how it feels. And also, if there's just one side working, which shouldn't happen with modern vehicles, but if that was the case, you'd feel the car pulling, because the side that's not braking is going to want to carry on. So if your left brakes are working, your rights aren't, the car will pull to the left. Shouldn't happen in modern vehicles, as I say, but that's the answer they're looking for. Okay, identify the windscreen washer reservoir is, and tell me how you would check the windscreen washer level. The answer is open. No, it's not. Let's get the right question, would be good. Identify the reservoir and explain how to check the level. So basically, you'll see popping up now a picture of the reservoir in my car. In my car, there isn't sometimes a minimum and maximum. Doesn't tend to be on windscreen wiper fluid. So you pop normally a blue cap, you pop that up, have a look in. If you can see fluid, you're okay. If you can't, you need to top it up basically. But there might be a minimum and maximum, but probably have to pull the lid off and have a look again. Ask your instructor for their individual car. One's a show me, so you would physically do this. Show me how you would check the brake lights are working on this car. And the examiner will say, I can assist you if you need me to. What you would do is you normally have to switch the ignition on. Again, don't start the engine, just turn the car a click or 2 clicks, depending on the vehicle. What you would then do is operate the brake pedal and make use of reflections in the windows, garage doors, etc., or ask someone to help, and this could be the examiner. So you could press the pedal and say to the examiner, or can you check the brake lights for me, to make sure they are working. Okay, and that's that one. So don't be afraid to ask the examiner to help you, because you can't press the pedal and look out the back, or he could press the pedal and you could look out the back, but they prefer you to press the pedal and them to look out the back. Okay, so they want to know you know how to do it. Next one is a show me again. Show me and explain how you would check the power assisted steering is working before starting a journey. Quite a long answer this one, I'll explain what it means in a moment. If the steering becomes heavy, The system may not be working properly. Before starting a journey, 2 simple checks can be made. Gentle pressure on the steering wheel maintained while the engine is started should result in a slight but noticeable movement as the system begins to operate. Alternatively, turn the steering wheel while after moving off will give you an immediate indication the power assist steering is functioning. In other words, when you move off and you can steer normally, it's working. If you move off and it's really, really heavy, just sort of really, then it's not working. Basically, simple as that. It's not moving, and I'm trying to move it. Start the engine, and it moves. See? That shows you the power assist steering is working. So that's how you do the steering. They probably want you to do that one there, or let's say you're just about to move off because it's the second question, and actually it's the first question, which is a bit weird. So they probably want you to start it and wiggle it, and as you start it, as you can see, it goes like that. The next question is, tell me where you would find the information for the recommended tyre pressure for this car and how tyre pressure should be checked. Okay. Basically, you look in the manufacturer's guide, but you don't do this, you just tell them. You tell them you look in the manufacturer's guide and use a reliable pressure gauge. So that's one at a garage, for example, that's checked regularly. Check and adjust the pressure when tyres are cold. Don't forget spare tyre. Remember to refit valve caps. Remember, you're telling them this, you're not doing it, okay? So you're just telling them how to do it, and that's how you would do it. You would just use a reliable gauge and make sure that you put the valve caps back on, and make sure you do the spare tyre, because it's no good if you get a flat tyre, get the spare out and that's flat as well. That'd be a bit annoying, wouldn't it, on a rainy Friday? It's always raining, it's always a Friday, it's always dark when that happens, trust me. Okay, next question. Show me how you would check the parking brake, handbrake, for excessive wear. Make sure you keep safe and control of the vehicle. The answer is apply the foot brake firmly. Demonstrate by applying handbrake so that when it's fully applied it secures itself and is not at the end of its working travel. Put the foot on the foot brake, which you can't see what I'm doing. I put the handbrake down and I put it up and it secures the car. Take the foot brake, car's not going anywhere, but if I needed to it would go up further, which means it's not at the end of its travel. Okay, I won't put that far because it won't be able to move. So it goes up, secures, but could go further if you needed to. Okay. So, open the bonnet, identify where you would check the engine oil and tell me how you would check the engine has sufficient oil. So again, it's a tell me, not a show me. Identify the dipstick, which again there'll be a picture popping up here. Oil level indicator. Describe to check the oil level against the minimum maximum mark. So what you actually do is you would say to them, I'll pull it out, I'd wipe it, I'd put it back in, I'd put it out again, I'll check it against the minimum maximum mark. Again, I'll show you pictures. All dipsters are different, and if I needed oil I would undo this cap and I would put oil in there. Okay, do the cap up, etc., and then check it again. But the official answer is identifies this dip, describe checking of level against the minimum maximum mark. But I would go into a little bit more detail. I said wipe it, put it in, take it out. When the engine is cold on most vehicles. Okay, it is on this one. Right, next one is open the bonnet, identify where you would check the engine coolant level and tell me how you would check the engine has the correct level. So it says the answer is identify the high and low level markings on the header tank where fitted, or radiator filler cap, and describe how to top up correct level. Again, you'll see a picture pop up here, but on my car it's got a minimum maximum mark, and if it was below the minimum you would then top it up by taking the cap off and putting the water in. Okay.